What's a sexual misconception you had for way too long? I thought that the tickling feeling in my clit when it's touched was an orgasm and my ex long-term partner just went with it and didn't put in a whole lot of effort. Imagine my surprise the first time I had a real orgasm. Poor man probably thought I was possessed or something the way I was screaming and shaking. Thanks my G. That I have a small penis. I don't. I have a micro. When I was around middle school age I thought that oral sex meant talking dirty. It wasn't till I lost my virginity at 20 that I found out that it feels better to add motion rather than just going as deep as possible and staying still. I thought the idea was like a charging cable. You put it in and it turns her on. That a woman's libido would go down as she aged. I found quite the opposite. I had no idea how messy sex was / could be. That I would be good at it. Man, I thought I was gonna get so many blowjobs. That's just not true. Oh boy, I thought when women went to pee afterwards it's because they didn't use protection. That a blowjob is like blowing up a balloon. I was kind of sheltered growing up, and like most sheltered kids, I learned a lot about sex through porn. I kept seeing blowjob videos, and I had no idea what a blowjob, assumed it was some kind of sex blooper. Like, something got messed up, and the director said, "Oh darn, you blew it. Let's take it from the top." I didn't understand why people would get off to that, so I never watched any of the videos, so I never learned what it was. Eventually, I wanted to see what the fuss was about, and clicked on a blowjob video, and learned the truth. A kid, very devout Muslim, in sex ed was being taught how sex works. He boldly stood up and claimed the teacher may be right about non-Muslim babies, but Muslim babies are not made via sex. God delivers them in a white robe to parents who are married and good Muslim. It's been almost 14 years, and I still laugh about that. That all men come easily. Before I had 21-year pointers, I just assumed I would have to try my darnedest not to be a one-pump chump. But now, as someone on and off SSRIs for the last 5 years, I can confidently tell you that it's not unheard of to have to try your absolute hardest just to stay hard and even remotely enjoy sex. It's sad but it's true. That women aren't interested in sex. That sex is just something they do *FOR* men as a means to an end. I had a terrible upbringing. That female orgasms were a real thing. I'm so relieved to find out they don't exist, and I don't have to worry. That Asian women's vaginas were sideways. Wasted years of harmonica lessons. Sex on things like the first date or first night can be fun, but it honestly isn't as fulfilling as building up sexual tension and then having sex with someone. It just feels deeper. I'm 59. I didn't know that losing the ability to maintain an erection would happen so suddenly. Viagra doesn't help. It's soul crushing. That I wouldn't want it much. That it was mostly something that only men enjoyed. Oh boy was I wrong. It is a lot lower than I actually thought. This was before porn. That the vagina was another name for boobs, so I thought you had to put pages in booby to make baby. When I was young I came across a very confusing picture of two dudes having sex in an odd position. Parents' definition didn't supervise my internet usage well enough, so for a while there I thought men had another hole down there. That a condom was a giant rubber you put over your own to make it look and feel better during sex. Jerking off to point much would cause me to go blind. I didn't know what the clitoris was until maybe age 14. Once I found it, I thought I was growing a penis, and broke down crying in my bathroom. That's after I had 2 years of sex ed in school. When I was younger I thought it looked like Squidward's nose, didn't know it got hard, just thought it kinda flopped there. I also thought you got pregnant by having the ball slap against the vagina. Edit. Wait, I read the question wrong. I only thought this for a little bit. Been hitting too many carts, man. I used to think that any and all sex was good. But as I've been around the sun a few extra times, having sex with people you're not attracted to or ones you've lost that attraction with, it becomes a chore or even punishing. I've learned how important chemistry is, and how important that non-sexual time you spend with a person helps to build that sexual chemistry. That sex between a couple *HAD*, to be full-on intercourse. I really had no idea things like mutual masturbation and using toys could be just as fulfilling as sex, and that it's totally normal for couples do this. Sex takes work and is messy. You have to shower after and make sure to put a towel down before, or the sheets are gonna be gross. So after a few years of living together, sex can often feel like far more work than it is worth. Truth is, being able to just grab your favorite toys, for her it's the Satisfyer Pro 2. For me it's the wireless magic wand, and use them side by side until you're both cross-eyed, and then rolling over and passing out while snuggling. Well, it's the most physically fulfilling intimacy we've both ever had. Don't think anything will ever replace that emotional connection felt during intercourse together, and that is really important to have. But, for couples who have been together for a while, mutual masturbation and mutual body exploration is a game changer that I wish I had realized was a normal thing earlier. Pee is stored in the balls. That everyone was into inflatable pool toys, but we all just never acknowledged it. Turns out that it really was just my weird ass self lol. My male friend told me that I don't necessarily know what blood looks like. And that when period blood gets soaked up by a pad or tampon it's no longer visible and soaks into the product losing the blood color. So pads are always white and dry. That guys don't care to help girls finish. If you find yourself the right guy, he enjoys making you finish. When I was a kid, I thought sex happened like a hot dog and a bun instead of a hot dog and a donut. Actually had no idea the vagina was ever a hole until I was going to the bathroom one day when I was about 12 and accidentally discovered it. I was horrified that it went up inside my body and was worried there was something wrong with me. Women appear shy/reluctant mostly because of the social conditioning. Once they're comfortable, they can and often will be wilder than you can possibly imagine. That I would never orgasm. I had my first child before my first orgasm. Granted I had her at 16. My husband is the first one to ever do it. Which is why I locked him down. Lol. JK, he's the sweetest. That men think of sex every 7 seconds. That was hammered into my head by my foster parents for so long. But now that I'm older, I know that it's not true. That it was supposed to be bloody and painful, and would bond me to someone forever. That I actually knew what an orgasm was. Hello clitoris. I love you. That missionary was the only way. That if given the choice, all men would choose to have sex with a skinny woman over a thicker/heavier woman, and the men who have sex with thicker women were settling. Definitely not true, and I know this now, mind you, I'm thicker, and so this was just a projection of my insecurity. That I, a woman, could expect to also have an orgasm in bed consistently. On the same note, that giving oral is expected and normal. Ladies, don't suck a man off if he can't make you come. That you urinate out of your clitoris. I was raised Catholic, so I would have never thought that a body part was there just for sinful pleasure. I thought both genders had that men can give women head. I only thought that men received oral. I have talked to several adult women who didn't know that a penis grew when horny. They thought it just got harder. This is a misunderstanding that needs to be talked about more. All women fake it. I thought a girl was faking an orgasm, so I kept going trying to get a genuine reaction from her. Kissing results in 2. I thought I had a small thanks, porn. Nope. Large side of average. Just not for porn. People who talked a big game had any drive at all. Okay, so I grew up in a very conservative household. Was not allowed to take sex ed in middle school, and they helicoptered in high school. Any internet access they had access to view, so I never watched porn/looked at pics. Absolutely nothing. So for a long time I thought was shaped like a smaller Pringles can. I thought it was just like a straight up cylinder. Moved out at 17 and googled some things, and man, I had men's anatomy so wrong. I always thought female squirting was a fake porn thing. Then it happened, and I tasted it. It's not fake, it's not pee. Until 9th grade, I thought the sperm floated out the butthole and into the woman's mouth. And could only occur if the couple made out. IDK if I was stupid, had bad sex education, or a combination of both lol. A childish one, whenever people f***ck doggy style, I thought it was in the ass. Lol. That I'm completely straight. You should be able to last hours. Also you should talk to men on how to please a woman. That the kinky stuff I was into was something I had to hide. The truth is that I needed to find more sex positive friends. In my childhood I always assumed a vagina just had one hole. I never knew there was a separate puss hole. For some reason, when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade I knew that humping makes babies, but I thought humping was literally hitting your belly with someone else's.